we'll take it from there. Recording, sharing this tab. I don't know if this will record everything, but we'll see. Perfect. Okay, cool. We have a few things to talk about today. Okay, so I want to address something. First of all, let me just share my screen because it's a little bit easier so we can be on the same page. So a few releases back, okay, perfect. A few releases back, we added the literal gem, which is literal gem, which is Joel Draper's gem, and we basically what it does, it's kind of a replacement for dry initializer, and it allows you to declare. I mean, it does a lot of things, but one of the things that it allows you to do is to declare property, so you don't have like that simple initializer where you have like the def initialize name, and then inside the initializer you assign the name instance variable to the name property that you passed, and you can just paste it as a prop like this. And another thing that literal does, it checks if that property that you passed is of a certain type. So it adds a little bit of type checking, and we thought it was a good idea at the time. But after we released that, we kind of had a few hiccups here and there where people said like, I don't know, they were passing different things to that object, and it kind of made sense to to pass some other things. So instead of having like any everywhere, I asked Paul to create a new gem. So we extracted a new gem out of literal, so it's called prop initializer, which the only thing that it does is uses this prop method to be able to extract, to initialize objects the way you want to. And the way we do it right now, let me just jump here, prop. The way we use it is mostly in components, in view components. So instead of having that regular initializer where we initialize everything, we just use the prop class, and we'll probably use it in other places. So this is one thing that I wanted to like address, because we kind of had some issues in the past where the types weren't matching up, and I think we need to have less strict types because it's Ruby. What else? Explicit authorization. So we have one new thing that we released it, Paul? Maybe implicit.
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
implicit. We didn't change the name yet.
Yeah. So, but I can't find it here. Did we merge it? Oh, I think we merged it.
Yeah, maybe it's on other page.
Yeah. I changed the name. So we merged it as the implicit authorization, but we'll change it as explicit because that makes sense. So let me explain a little bit about what this does. So whenever you would start an Avo app, you would start by probably this is how we figured it out. You would probably start using the community package where you have no authorization, right? So you can see all the create buttons and the edit and the destroy and everything else, right? Then our idea was that, okay, when you add the authorization gem, so Pandit and the authorization feature, you would basically, instead of having everything disappear on you, you would progressively add things. So for example, if you had a project resource, if you don't add a project policy, then it's okay, you'll still see everything. We thought that was a good idea because otherwise everything would disappear. But it turns out it's not a good idea because there's this risk of leaving things exposed because we haven't explicitly closed it off. So for example, when you create a project's policy, you have to like close off every other method that you don't want to return through. So the actions that you don't want the user to have. And now in this new version, did we merge that, Paul? I don't think we merged the docs.
Yeah, it's on the last menu link.
Okay,
You
I'll
were
ask
on the
Manu.
correct page, but it's
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you. So basically, what happens now? We introduce this new option, which is called implicit authorization, but we'll change it to explicit, which will be set to it will be set to default to true on new apps, but you'll have to do it on your own apps. And what this will do is whenever you use the authorization feature, when you have the Pandit policy, but the Pandit gem installed, it will automatically return false for everything that you're missing. So, for example, if you don't have a projects policy, we would not see this. If you have a projects policy and you don't have a create method, we would not see this. And the same for actions and so on. So basically, it's safe by default, right? It's a little bit incredible that we reached this stage and to be able to call safe by default. But yes, from now on, this is going to be the default, safe by default. So yes, thank you so much for that. And I should thank Paul because he spearheaded this initiative. Do you want me to do a demo, or like do you think it's all good for it's all good. Okay, so people got it. That's awesome. Okay, what else? What else? Yes, another one. We are hiring. So we posted an ad on our Discord channel. We are hiring a person that will help us. Like we're hiring a developer that will work on open source and closed source the products, and a little bit with DevRel and content creation. So basically, we want somebody that who will do development part time. Let me see. Okay, so somebody that can do development part time, and part time they will write content, maybe shoot videos, and maybe write documentation, give technical support. So we want them to be embedded in the work and not just bring a copywriter and just give them, okay, we need you to write about this and about that and so on, because it's it's a little bit tricky to give the context of all the problems that we are fixing day to day. So if you know somebody or you're looking to switch or something, definitely give us a call or send them our way. One other thing that we are, one other thing that we want to show you a little bit, but before the demo, Paul has a demo about this. But before that, I want to talk a little bit about what we are focusing on next. So we have a couple of things going. So one of them is the Kanban board, which we have a beta version running in production for one customer for a while now, and they're running pretty okay with it. We can still add a few features, but still it's a good beta version. So we want to focus on releasing that. We also have the Rhino field, which Tobias, I think you guys like. Are you using it yet in production?
Um, yes and no. Like we're still in developing phase,
Still in
but
development.
we're using it. By next month, our first beta customers should be there on
Okay.
our beta production, and then
Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah. Thank you for the heads up. That's awesome.
but
um,
still in internals now. Yeah.
Gotcha. We won't tell anyone. It's okay. So basically, the Rhino field, it uses the Rhino editor, which is built by Connor Rogers. Let me just show you really quick. And it's actually it's action text compatible, and more important, active storage. I always mix up the names. Active storage compatible, so you can attach files just like you would do in Trex. And it's based on TipTap, which in turn is based on Prose. So what that means is that the internals are very well made. They're like the newer generation of this is basically one of the newest kind of generation of editors, and that means that we can safely extend it to fit our needs. For example, one thing that I built for Camp admin was, being able to have a color picker and the background color picker as well. So this wasn't like, it wasn't very, very easy to do, but still it was way easier than it would have been with Tricks. And it also kind of enables us to build some kind of plugin system on top of Rhino. So basically we would write this kind of bridge where you can write some JavaScript code and you could hook in and add buttons, add all sorts of like events and other things. And then, basically this is what we'd like to enable self-help, so you can make this editor whatever you need. In theory, we can add like widgets and a lot of other things. Yeah. So this is one thing that we are trying to prep to launch, and the Kanban. And another thing that we are trying to build, we have a proof of concept for that, is the collaboration field. It's not a field; it's actually the collaboration feature. So let me jump into Tailwind UI to just show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. So we're trying to build something like this, where you would have a comment field, and you could, like, people could write comments and post on certain records, and this would be like, a feed on that record. And of course, and another thing that we could do is add some kind of actions, like, okay, if we have a project, I'm gonna jump back to my app. If we have a record that has maybe a stage, for example, you can say, okay, record whenever somebody changes the stage, so we can show that in the feed, like something like, Alex paid the invoice, right? So this would be like a custom action that would be visible in this feed. This looks like a little bit like the audit logging feature, where you record things about the record, but it's actually not. It's a very lightweight version. So it's used more for collaboration, because we've seen people that use Avo to build CRMs more and more. So they need this kind of collaboration features that the whole team can see this, can be able to talk on like certain records. So yeah, the audit logging feature is going to be something else, which records everything, and you can like see it and inspect it and audit. And Paul is going to demo that for us right now. This is probably going to be a separate product for Avo, so the whole collaboration thing is probably going to be priced differently. Same for Kanban, it's going to be a separate product. The Rhino field I think we'll just release it for free, and that's it. We'll make it we'll just leave it in community. But I feel that kind of this field, this feature, and the Kanban view, they are a little bit more feature heavy. Like they will require a lot of tweaks from us in the future. So that's why we think like, okay, it's probably going to be a separate product. It's a difficult decision to make in the beginning, because you never know when like you launch a feature, if this feature like proves to be like a lot of maintenance, a lot of high maintenance. It's difficult to make it from free, okay, this is now going to be paid. So this is why like we're kind of eyeing it and seeing, okay, these features could take a little bit of our time. Cool. Yes, perfect, go for it, Rock.
Yeah. So for the audit log, what are you using? Like I've never seen this feature. I don't know if you have
Sure.
any.
So if you don't mind, Paul is going to talk a little bit about that in just a second. So he's going to answer like all your question, and I can answer your questions. I first of all, I wanted to see if you guys have any other questions regarding what we talked until now, like about I don't know, the explicit authorization, the Rhino field, the collaboration, and the things that we talked so far.
Not sure about the collaboration. How heavy is that?
Yep.
So I think it would be better if we have that in our Pro Plus plan, the premium one.
Yep.
But the Canvan and the other thing can be a separate feature at the product. So
Yeah.
that's good, because those are a little bit much more heavier than collaboration.
Yeah, I see what
So
you mean.
that's my thought.
Yeah. So one of the things that we are pondering with the collaboration feature is to make it a per user pricing, because what happens is people are building really cool stuff and we love it, and they're like, it's very valuable for their company and their products and everything. And like the pricing model that we have right now with Avo, like 500 and 1,000 per year, it's not really like, for some people it's a lot, 1,000 per year, but for some apps they just use it maybe for admins and stuff. But for some companies they get a lot of value out of that, and it's pretty difficult for us to like capture that value. It's not to us, it would be amazing to say something like, okay, if your product is less than this in ARR or whatever, you don't pay anything. If it's more, you pay more, right? Like a lot more, right? That would make like a lot of sense to us, and we would love to be able to do that, but it's difficult and we can't do that in reality. Like we've had our experiences. So collaboration, maybe this is like the initial version, the initial iteration. We would like to add more things to it, but this could be one of the things that sets apart. Like it's going to enable Avo to grow as a business. So we are thinking about introducing a per user pricing for this feature. So basically, if you have like 100 users collaborating, that's perfect. If you have 1,000, then that's you get a little bit more value. It's a little bit towards that value based pricing, right?
Okay.
Yeah. We're still working on the pricing. We don't have an answer for that yet.
Okay. No problem with that.
But I see what you mean. Like I would love to, like I said, have everything as cheap or as free as possible. But we're still trying
Basically,
to build a business.
if a client thinks that it's a little bit expensive, he can go and build it himself. So you're
Yes.
offering him a service. Like if he wants
Yes.
it, he can take it.
Yes.
If he does,
Yes.
as simple as that.
We even know customers who have built it themselves and they run it, and that's okay, right? So it's again like even Avo, you can go and build yourself, but what happened, right? So yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for that, Rock. Cool. We'll still have time for questions. Paul would you like to demo the audit logging feature?
Yep.
That's
I'd
awesome.
love
If
to see it.
no more questions,
Thank you.
let me just share the screen. Okay, we have here a basic application with products and users, and I want to start by showing you how to install the audit logging in this small application and how to start tracking actions. Before that, I want to say that the audit feature have two layers. One, it's recording Avo activities like show this record, run an action, view the index of this resource. This is Avo activities. And you can install only that part. But the second layer, it's the integration with Audited and PaperTrail gem. I don't know if you are using or which one of them. But later I will start by showing you the Avo activity part, then how does it integrate with the PaperTrail and Audited. Also, I would like to show you how this is plug and play and don't dig into details. And if you have any questions, I would love to get into details. But first, to install the audit logging in this in an application, you will need to run this generated install. This will install the first layer of auditing. Then later we can check the PaperTrail with this gem option or the audited. But for now, let me show you what does this generate. I want to show you how to put Audit working on this application. Okay, now we already have already have some files generated for us, and we can see a migration to resources, controllers, models, and a resource tool. I will get into that later, but to show you how this is plug and play, I will just ignore the file for now and just go straight to the enabling the audit on my application. To do that, I go to my initializer and just open Audit Logging configure class and enable it. Now Audit is enabled in my application, but by default it will not track actions on any of your resources or actions. You need to manually enable for all of them. So let's go to the product resource that I show you and enable this configuration. It's audit. We call it audit logging. When you have the activity option, you set it to true, and now Avo will track all activities done in this product. Later, if you don't want, let's say, to track index or edit actions, you can open this action option and say, okay, I don't want edit, I don't want index, and Avo will not register that activity. But for now, for the purpose of this demo, let's enable all of them. Okay. Let me just a second enable the audit logging also on the actions, because I need to restart the server and I want everything to be logged when we go back to the application. So this is the basic steps that you need to do to enable it on your application. And that's it. Now it should be working. Yeah, one step that I forgot, it's after generating Rails TV is to migrate it, because we, as we can see, we have a migration. We can go into that later. I will also restart the server, since we did some configuration and I want to make sure that everything it's configured as expected. Okay, now we are back to the application. We have the users and the product, the same application. We go to the index, we go to the show, we edit this product. Let's change the price, less, make a discount, save. And now you might be asking, I'm not seeing any activity on where do I check my activities. And to do that, since the generator generated some resources and controllers and everything, to be plug and play, you now can go to your dummy in my case product, resource product, and just use that generated resources, right? So we have generated resource tool that you can put, let's say, in a sidebar, and Avo activities resource. You only need to add this to your resources, and now if we refresh, we should be able to check all the activities that I done after enabling the feature. Yeah. And voila, here we can see the activities that we done on our product. We can even check like payload, the author, the creator that I can filter by default. This is everything installed by default, and this resource and this tool will be inside your application. So you might don't want to use this activity class. By the way, this activity class is to show you where the action was made. For example, if we go to users, the activity class will change. If you don't want it, you just go to the resource, hide it, make it beautiful. I don't know. You have the control of this resource or the position of this resource tool. Okay, this is the first layer that I talked at the beginning. It's registering Avo actions. I also enabled the actions. Let's choose 3 records, run an action, change price. Let's put 1, big discount. I don't know why my local server is slow right now, but it's okay. Another thing, if you want to check all the activities in one place, you only need to go to your initializer, add a menu section, and the resource generated will be used in this menu section, and you can see all the actions made until now. Here is the handle action that we made on the change price, and if we want to check details on that, we can see the let's say the fields that we have a lot of information here, but we have also the fields of the action. We change the price to 1, and the impacted records. By a polymorphic association, we can go into that later if you want to know the details behind the scenes, but we can check what records were impacted. And now you may wonder, okay, but I don't see here what changed on my record. And that's where the PaperTrail or Audited will integrate in this feature. But let's make like a pause, and I want to ask you if you have any questions on this first layer of the implementation, or not.
Yeah, it's
Personally,
amazing.
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, this is what I was gonna say, like really
Yep.
well implemented.
Cool.
Yep. Same
Now,
for me.
cool.
There is a lot of Evo tweaks in there.
Yeah. The idea is to give you these tables. Now you can configure as you wish, right? Because if we strict to a design and you then need to eject and override things, if we give you these tables, now you can just configure as you wish. Yeah, another question that I have for you, it's do you use any audit agent like Audited or PaperTrails?
I'm planning to implement it, but due to a lot of time constraints, I haven't did it yet.
Okay.
I've used both, so I guess they have the same purpose. Like,
Yeah, they have, but since we have the integration with both of them, I want to show you one of them, or maybe both if we have time.
whichever. Like, I've used PaperTrail for forever, and then one client wanted to use one competitor admin panel that I won't say which one because we're recording. And
It's okay.
this other non-intuitive admin panel that I hate use audited. So so this is why I asked about the audit, by the way, because I saw it somewhere else. So yeah.
We're
Okay.
using PaperTrail
Yeah.
upon the recommendation of Avo. So
So I guess I will demo the paper trail because it's more common, and most of you know about it.
Right now, I'm using Audited, and what's interesting is that this week I had to create a resource to show the audits. So this came in perfect time as well.
Yeah.
I've been spending quite a lot of time creating that resource to show everything and displaying a nice format. The whole changes payload.
Yes.
This is what we've been using for a while now. So it's not looking good in as far as the changes goes, because of course, like they have this custom method to format everything to HTML. It doesn't look good in any part of the application. It's not Avo's fault at all. It's just like the way that they created, it's not the best way. And I've been wanting to propose a change, and I think this is kind of the best like segue that I can have to do that. Yeah, thank you guys. This is great.
Cool. Okay, so I will just show you the PaperTrail since everyone uses or knows about it. You will use the same generator. I should have it here. With the gem option, as I said, and now you will say, okay, I want the PaperTrail gem, and hit enter. This will generate the same base fields. So we will have the first layer also installed. Let me just stage them. If they appear here, they're not appearing for some reason. And it after the base fields, it will also install the gem. If you don't have it, we'll run the migrations for the gem, and we'll generate the resource for the versions. That's what Ryan was talking about, and an action to revert. Don't bother about these errors. It's because I already have the Avo activities on my database. The action to reverse the change. Okay, I will not use these generated files. I will just jump into pre-configured dummy app that we have here that already use PaperTrail. It looks the same. It's the same app, but with PaperTrail integration implemented. Okay, now let's create a product. Price 25, quantity 2. Save. Now, this is also a resource that was generated and already included in this product resource. It's also plug and play. You will have this interface, and you can change it or keep it, whatever. But now we can see that PaperTrail already tracked that Avocado, this user, created this record. Besides that, we have the create Avo activity, right? The first layer, and this this activity tracked in Avo, it's related to that PaperTrail version by this column. I know it's just an ID with a link. You would need to customize that to reflect your use case, but you can check here. This demo product was impacted with this change on PaperTrail, right? Make sense? Okay. Then let's say you edit or someone else edit this product and change the price, increase the price and save it. it will be tracked by Avo activities and with PaperTrail. And here you can see the changes. By the way, we have a diff field that we will apply here. I don't know why it's not applied now, but it looks much better. It will look like two lines, one green and one red, and the red one will be the 25 and the green one the 26, right? To be more beautiful. Then you can use that generated action to undo this update. Let's say, okay, I don't want this change. I can just undo this, run back to the previous version while everything is tracked. Then you can fine tune these trackings. Like I said, you maybe don't want that show action every time that someone go to your application to make a log. So you can fine tune this. So just one more time, and then we can jump to the questions or to details of the implementations. Now with PaperTrails, if we run an action that have impact on the record with the PaperTrail integration, we should be able to see that action with the records that impacted and with the change that impacted. So you can see for each record what changes, right? And you can just undo, delete, and whatever. This is the plug and play and installation part. This was the demo, but now we can jump into the questions. And if you have any questions on how it works behind the scenes or something like that. And Adrian, also, if I skip something or I miss something, let me know.
No, that was awesome. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Any questions?
Nothing. Just you're missing. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. So I can see that the audit logging is a feature for the enterprise custom pricing, etc. Why don't you do it just like what you're trying to do with the Kanban or the rest of like
Yeah,
a
I
license? You can go into the license like, do you want to upgrade your license? You want to enable this, and then you enable them, and if it works, because like before every request that we're doing, there's the license key verification. So why don't you abstract these features that are basically extra fields, like it's an extra action that we're adding? So why don't you do something like that? Because this is, for me, for example, this might be interesting for one of my clients to have audits. Instead of me rebuilding it from scratch, I would tell him like, hey, instead of paying me X, pay Avo this amount, and then you have this, instead of having a custom dedicated support like all the enterprise pricing, for example.
Yeah, for sure. I guess like pricing is the elephant in the room. Again, this goes a little bit like how we have the pricing right now. This doesn't mean that this is how it's going to be forever, right? This might be extracted in a separate feature, and that's it. The thing is, like, the most important thing for us is to be able to build Avo as a business, because if we can become like a stable business, we can improve, we can build more things, we can open source more things, we can make them free, as we did from when we jumped from 2 to 3 and so on. And the only way we can do that if we can get like proper financing for that. Like 500 and 1,000, like this might seem a lot for a developer to pay, but for companies, there are companies, I'm going to say like Shopify or whatever, that's nothing for them, and that doesn't even qualify us as a product to purchase it. They'll say something like, you're too cheap, it doesn't matter how much value you bring us, we're not going to work with you, right? So that's one thing. So it's a little bit about positioning. We need to have like this enterprise an enterprise plan where we do sell something enterprise. And like audit logging, this is an enterprise feature, traditionally speaking. Like everywhere you go, this is something that you get on the enterprise. If you need it, Rock, or anybody else, definitely come and chat with us. It doesn't have to be like the big enterprise. That's why the contact us, like the custom pricing is there to like figure out where you are. Again, because it's difficult for us as a company to capture value based on the value that the company that's building the product gets from Avo, right? We were thinking about this, like, should we make it per user? But it doesn't make sense. Some people have 2 users and they have a lot of value. Should we make it per number of resources? That doesn't make sense either. Like, we should make it by the number of records or whatever. Again, this doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of things. You might have logs or whatever you want to show. So again, it's
per audit, and then
and yeah,
the dev creates a job to delete.
Delete previous 90 days, kind of like in Slack, right? Like again, like there are all of these questions. Like it gets back to the same thing. Like it would be wonderful to say, like, if you make this much, you don't have to pay anything. If you make more, you pay more. Like, but it doesn't work like that. So that's why we're putting audit logging in the enterprise feature, where you can talk to us and you call us and say, okay, this is what I have, and we ask some questions. We figure out, okay, what's kind of the value. We figure out together actually what kind of the value that you're getting from this, and then we set the custom pricing. Again, like having something like Kanban, put in enterprise, that doesn't really make sense, right? That's a stretch. That would definitely be a stretch. Having something like collaboration, like, again. So we're also like trying to find our place and build this business as we want to, because we do believe that we provide a lot in like the free tiers, and quite some more value in the pro and advanced, but a lot of the work that we do is basically in the free, so somebody has to support kind of us doing that. Does that answer your question a little bit? Yeah. Awesome.
Still on the same topic, so going from advanced to enterprise, would it be possible to, for example, because our company would definitely benefit from the auditing, but there are some other features that might not be like worth the jump in price, if you know what I mean. So is it possible, for example, we want to go with the enterprise, but then we'd like to have these features here?
Yeah,
and definitely. Then have the kind of price. Okay, that's perfect.
That's what we're talking about. Exactly. This is what happens when we have that call. Like, okay, what do you need? Do you need the extra technical support? Do you need like special invoicing? Do you need like special contracting? Because there are these big companies which like the contracting period takes a few months and so on. So you can't really sell something like for $1,000. That doesn't make sense, right? So it definitely matters how and what you're going to use from that.
Do we have anywhere? Oh, yeah. Sorry, Tobias. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, it's just I share the same question, and we had some talks in the past, but of course, I always this auditing log was in it, and now it's more specific. So we'll be happy to restart these talks. Yeah.
Thank you.
But I share the same mind as Icaro on it. Like, we definitely need some of it, but not all, and it used to be a very big jump, while if you use all, of course, that makes sense. But yeah, let's talk.
Yeah. For sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's talk.
Do we have anywhere? So I joined a bit late because I had some meetings, but do we have any docs showing this feature, like showcase this? Or this recording would also be good, because I really want to show this to my like my boss, and because this is exactly what we're looking for. And this feature of undoing something, that's beautiful. It's great. I just want to say
awesome. Yeah, I just want to go for it, Paul.
Just asking directly, the docs are still work in progress, but I don't mind if you want to share the recording. It's okay.
Definitely.
From my perspective, I don't know, Adrian, if
No, of course. I'll share it on the Discord channel, and Ryan, you and everybody has access to that. And I'll probably put it on YouTube as well. So yeah, docs are work in progress. The video is going to be available. I think so. Again, this is part of the the hiring that I mentioned in the beginning. Ryan, you weren't there, like, but we are looking to hire somebody to also make some videos of where we would like to go, because I don't have that much time. Is to have like kind of videos for each feature, going into a little bit like from the beginning, and then going into in depth to almost like to custom coding, and to show people how you can configure those, because these and some of the things some of these things we uncover during our custom technical support hours that we have with some customers, like, because we try to make the documentation as thorough as possible, but like there's so much that we can do, or anybody, because when you go like custom and you build like it's very difficult. But we would like to find somebody to make like proper professional videos, like Paul, you did an amazing job, no worries, but we want to make them a little bit better, and we want to publish them for like to be there like as a testament to you can build with Avo's features. But yeah, you'll have the videos, we'll have the docs available, and like again, going back to a little bit to what Paul said, like we will export these resources for you, and we'll probably build some more, like you've seen that tiny sidebar thing with kind of the view, like Paul created, Paul edited. We want these things will be improved as we go, and we'll also this is another thing. This is how part of our the way we build things. We publish things like the initial iteration. Okay, we want to see how you use it. What else do you need it? Like, and then build it for you. Like the filters, the dynamic filters. This is a very good example. When we published them, definitely they weren't as polished as they are right now. But we've reached this level by getting your feedback and seeing, okay, I need this, we need that, and so on and so on. So we made them better and better. So again, all of these things will probably improve in the future as we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a very basic question.
Sure.
Mainly because I just discovered Avo like a week ago. So yeah, I think it's fantastic. I really like it. I was already able to connect it to Jumpstar Pro.
Yeah.
I was able to get all the models that I had there before, and it's great.
Awesome.
But my basic question is like, do you guys envision this to be used only for internal tools or admin, or you also have like, can I use it for end user? Just
go for it, Rob.
Yeah, I will answer this because so I've been using Avo for quite some time now, and I've been contributing for things that make sense to me, if you want.
And that are missing, yes.
And that, yeah. For example, the icons and the menu, like this is something that I wanted to show the users that are using the app, like wanted to show them icons. So I did that feature. But yeah, so I've been using it for the three types that you just said. So I'm using it for clients that are using it for admin panel purposes. I'm using it with the clients that are using it for internal products and internal managerial things like uh, stock tracking, etc., at their purposes. And I built my own product, like a product that I wanted to go live with. And I built the whole product using Avo. Unfortunately, I didn't go live with the product because like I didn't see a good market fit for it, but I was able to achieve everything that I needed. And that was like really, I did the product in less than three days. So I had the models, I knew what I wanted to do, and Avo was there like to help me get everything ready in less than 3 days. So I'm not with the team. I'm not getting paid by the team, and this is my personal
Sponsored
opinion.
by, yeah.
I really appreciate it. And, yeah, I'm sold. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I could tell you that we have quite a few customers that are building like customer facing tools, customer facing apps with it. We have a big customer that is building a rather large healthcare CRM where when his customers come in, they actually see Avo. So everything in there. They have like customers, and their customers have like buildings to manage, and then they have like people and so on. So it's multi-layer, like more advanced multi-tenancy, and everything they see is Avo. Most of it is like Avo DSL, but they also have some custom things which we help them build, like some nested field resources and forms and some other cool stuff that they needed. So yeah, maybe 80 or 80 something percent is Avo, and then the rest is a little bit custom. But to answer your question, yes, we do have quite a few customers that build customer facing apps.
On that
Gabriel,
note, would it be
yeah,
possible?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Go
sorry,
for it.
It's still on the same topic. So we had this thing as well with audits and also customer facing, because we have these kind of like resources that we want to show the audits for the customer, but we also didn't want to give access to the rest of Avo, right? Because right now we have Avo as like an existing URL for customers. So basically, if they try to go there, it's just gonna say that it doesn't exist, and this is just customer face. Oh, sorry. Right now it's just an internal tool, and we were kind of afraid of opening this Pandora box. And then, for example, because we do have the pundit policies, right?
Yeah.
But then once the Pandora box is open, then of course customers are customers, and they're gonna go around, and if there is a policy that we forget, and so I was just wondering if there is a way to isolate that. I don't see a way right now, so I understand if there is not, but we never know.
Sah is laughing because before you came, we talked exactly about this. We have this new feature which is called explicit authorization, where we flip the switch, and instead of having everything open until you create a policy and a method and an action, like a rule, everything is closed. And unless you have a policy and you tell it explicitly that you want it open. So I'll have this video up, but we'll definitely be on the channel if you want to chat about it and you want to know more.
I think we had one issue. One guy posted a message about this kind of issue. I think, and Paul sent a reply about with the link about the implicit. It's now implicit authorization now. So he sent me. He sent the guy that link, and I didn't know about that. So I checked the documentation. I said, oh wow, that's amazing. It's a good feature to have.
That's cool. Yeah, it's a good
I was
feature.
building something. I was building things. I didn't had policies. I didn't want to release. So it's staying in different brands till now.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, I know. It's this icky feeling of like, you want to release it, but you don't know what's there. So, this is a good feature, and sorry it took so long.
No more monkey patching.
Yeah, no more monkey patching. Yeah, there's okay. So we have 2 more minutes. Is there anything anybody else wants to ask? Because if not, I want to address some potential feature here that you, Ryan, touched upon.
Now I'm doubting since you mentioned something else.
No,
I was just wondering, very short, like you showed the visuals of this commenting kind of tool and stuff, and then the functionals of the PaperTrail and versioning. Do you envision combination there?
So definitely there's this tiny Venn, not very tiny, but this Venn diagram between audits and collaboration, right? For now, but to give you like the technical talk, they are different tables in the database. So comments and everything that's collaboration, like those actions and those comments, those are separate from everything else that's audit logging. Mm-hmm. At some point, maybe we'll make this, it wouldn't be very difficult to make this mechanism of like joining them, but we kind of see them as different features. And for example, if you need audit logging for, to have like internal for your, maybe, for your admins, you wouldn't want to give this to your users, but to your users, you want to give something else, right? So in theory, it's still active record under the hood. So we could do some smart queries there to join and show them. But in the beginning, it's going to be like different features, and they are going to serve different purposes. Like audit logging is everything there. Collaboration is comments and some things.
Cool, clear. Yeah. I like the visualization you showed first very much. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, cool. Just okay. 1 more minute. We'll probably be over time, 1 or 2 minutes. So what I wanted to address, like what you said, Ryan. So basically, you built your app, but you also have some things in Avo that you'd like to show to your users, right? You can have this option right now to show your users 2 different kind of apps, like the front one and Avo, and switch back, or you have the option to move everything into Avo, but maybe it doesn't make sense. What we're envisioning at some point is a feature where we take some things out of Avo and let you embed it inside your app. So you use your application HTML, your controllers, your things, but you get like the Avo index view, or you get like the Avo show or edit views, right? So that would be kind of an embedded mode. This is how we call it right now. We haven't we've written 0 lines of code for it, but it's like, it's in our heads. We both talk about it, and I think it's brewing. There are some challenges around that, but we are thinking about it, and if the right scenario use case pops up, maybe then we would think about we would start building that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I just want to share 5 seconds. I talk about the diff field and the green and red differences. I found it, and
Nice.
it looks much better. I just wanted to share you this.
That's awesome. Yeah, that looks a little better.
Yeah,
that
this is
looks
much better.
That's awesome.
Well, I imagined, but not this way.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you, Sam. We appreciate it. Cool. Gabriel, would you like to, I want to end it, but Gabriel, would you like to send me an email? Because I don't think I have your contact. I would like to ask where you found out about Avo and how you use it and whatever. Would you mind sending us an email?
Sure.
Sure.
I'll do that.
Okay. Thank you so much. Whichever email you find, mine, personal, or Avo, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
Guys,
you guys.
thank you so much for
Okay.
coming.
I have one announcement to make.
Go
Sorry.
for it. Go for it.
We'll be releasing our beta product by next month using Avo. So, yep, that's
awesome.
FYI.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. We love it when people come and tell us, we launched it and it's in production and people love it, and or people hate it. We want to hear that as well.
Yeah, same for us, Santosh.
Yep, that's awesome. Cool. It's amazing to have spoken with you guys. We'll probably do the next one in December, after the release. So we'll have one more release in November, but it's kind of close to this office hours because I was away on conference. But in December, after we do the release day, on that Friday, we'll do the office hours and maybe get into the merry spirit as well, and we'll have more things to talk about.
Sure.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for joining and for sharing everything. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Guys.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.